Okay guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Alright guys, I'm back and it is December 7th, Saturday, and it's 9:28 p.m. What we're going to be doing tonight is getting into the Q posts from December 6th and today's post, December 7th. Hopefully I can do them both together. I should have done December 6th yesterday on December 6th, but I got home. I laid down just for a minute. I was going to rest before I did my show, and I was out and didn't wake up until the next day. So I'm much better rested, but sorry that I got a little bit behind on the Q posts, and we're going to catch those up tonight. And I don't know beyond that. It'll depend on my voice, but I'm going to go as long as I can go. All right. And first, I want to thank a few people because this is what keeps me going. I think a lot of people think that YouTube creators make a lot of money. They don't. They do if they are monetized via YouTube and have a large amount of subscribers, like I would say maybe 200,000, 150, even 100,000. But I am neither monetized, nor do I have a really large audience because of my subject matter. That's what they do. And anyway, so I really do appreciate those of you that offer support, whether it be prayer, buying me a coffee, supporting me on Patreon, however you wish to do it. I appreciate it all, but there's never any obligation, and I never ever want anyone to feel guilty if they can't. That's not what this is about. So there you go. But I want to thank Diane Haney, Barbara B from Cincinnati, and Susan B and Cecil. They all gave me support via coffee. And thank you so much. And Patreon picked up 3 new subscribers: Eva Nance, Vicky McGregor, and S. Jackson. Thank you guys so much. You make this possible, and I appreciate it very much. All right, let's get right into the queue. Now, we're going to start with yesterday's, of course, because I missed that. And we're going to pick up there, and I'm going to go right straight through to the 7th, ending up with the last Q post. Now, obviously, the night is still young. Q could still post a lot more. If he does, we'll see what he posts. I'll either get that caught up tonight or leave that till tomorrow if there are more posts. I'm thinking that there may be some Q posts leading up to Monday because of what is set to happen on Monday. So we will see. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so let's pick it up with this one, and we are on post number 3650. Panic in DC. Fake news ramps up attacks on QAnon, linking it to legal insanity. And Q has posted this, Panic in DC. We've seen this before, kind of done like a movie poster. Panic in DC, and they never thought she would lose. Q. And no, they didn't think she would lose. It's hard to lose a rigged election, but she did. Wonder how badly she would have lost if it hadn't been a rigged election. All right, and beneath that, Q has put a lot of links here. Now, at first I was going to go out to every single one of these links, and then I thought that will take us forever. So this is what I've done. I've clipped them out for you. And beneath all of these links, Q says, thinking timing. Q. He's thinking about the timing. And it's the timing of all this. And of course, panic in DC, they're panicking because what's coming next? Pain and punishment. So these are all of these links that have been cut out and placed. They're all very similar. This from the New York Times. A follower of the baseless QAnon conspiracy theory killed a Gambino mob boss, not a boss mob, Gambino mob boss in Staten Island because he thought the man was part of the deep state scheming against President Trump. His defense lawyers say that makes him legally insane. So what makes him legally insane? The fact that he killed the man, or the fact that he thought he was part of the deep state because of the QAnon conspiracy? Well, obviously it's the QAnon conspiracy. And we go to the next one. New York man who claimed the mobster he killed was part of an anti-Trump deep state and came to court with QAnon symbols drawn on his hand will attempt insanity defense. At what point does belief in a far-right conspiracy theory make you legally insane? Well, I don't think it's so much QAnon. I think he was probably could be MK Ultra, could be a number of things, but I don't think that it was the QAnon conspiracy that forced him or made him kill this man. I don't believe that for a moment, but it's convenient, isn't it, to say that, to have somebody suddenly appear that kills a mob boss and says he did it because he's part of the deep state against Donald Trump and he's part of the QAnon conspiracy theory. Well, makes us all look bad, doesn't it? And isn't that the point? Certainly it is. So this says, accused of killing a Gambino mob boss. And does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? Well, I hope not, because I'll be legally insane, and so will all of you. Well, we can all be insane together, at least. And I have no intentions on killing anyone. Not now, not ever. So I don't know. Anyway, this, again, I spoke with an expert on how insanity and criminality overlap back in July about the connection of the killing of a mob boss on Staten Island with QAnon. This is from the Washington Post. This was the New York Times. This was the New York Times. And this is the New York Times. Accused of killing a Gambino mob boss, he's presenting a novel defense. QAnon insanity. That according to the New York Times. So these are all the links that Q has provided with us, and all I'm doing is going out and clipping them out for you so it doesn't take us so much back and forth time. Samuel Oakford, does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? Mob hit trial may tell. And that was from the New York Times. Ali Watkins. Now, all of these people, notice they have the blue check mark. Most of them are in media of some sort. And they are helping to disseminate this information. Ali Watkins, days after pulling off the biggest mob killing in decades, Anthony Camello told detectives the CIA had infiltrated the mafia and that Democrats were working with El Chapo. Now, a question for court. Could blind belief in QAnon make you legally insane? Well, I guess we are about to find out. But we know that that's the narrative they're pushing now. Why? If it's just a crazy conspiracy theory, do you think that they'd be all that scared about it? No. And there is nothing inherently in QAnon that would make anyone become violent. And I've been in this since it started. I've never seen QAnon incite anyone to violence, just the opposite. So, and this over here, and this again by the New York Times, being spread by Ali Watkins. We read that already, so let's go down. Mike McIntyre, does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? Mob hit trial may tell. New York Times. And J.J. McNabb, does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? So these people are just disseminating this, making sure that the narrative gets out there, that this is the narrative that they have come up with, that anyone believes in QAnon is insane and maybe actually dangerous. Justin Hendricks, does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? Same thing. New York Times. And this is Peter Dow. Is this the first time we've seen the QAnon defense for a murder? And Will Sommer, does believing in QAnon make a person insane? A New York court could soon decide that in the trial of a QAnon believer accused of murdering a mafia boss. And here by Yahoo News, does belief in QAnon make you legally insane? So, same thing. And again, Adam Goldman, Anthony Camello, accused of killing a Gambino crime boss, is obsessed with conspiracy theories. And Mark Pitkavich, latest on the QAnon killer of mob boss, accused of killing a Gambino mob boss. He's presenting a novel defense. And of course, that is that he's insane because he believes in QAnon. QAnon made him do it. Right. All right, then. I don't know what is the Democrats, what's their excuse? They don't believe in QAnon. What's their excuse? I'm just wondering. And this from Die Oppressor Lieber. I thought this was good. Think timing. Why are all the leftists pushing the QAnon equates to a sanity article by the New York Times? Why all of a sudden is the New York Times pushing the QAnon killer? They are in a panic and are desperate to delegitimize Q and Anons and make us look crazy. And really, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. Not because we are crazy. We're not. But to the average person, if they were just now being subjected to this, and they were just now hearing all of this stuff about QAnon, and don't you think that they would think, this is nuts? It's you and I that have listened to this stuff ever since it came out, that have followed along and seen how accurate it is and how much information we've gleaned over the past few years. Then it's us that think, okay, no, there's no way this could be a LARP. There's no way this is a conspiracy. This is happening. It's happening. But to the average person, I could see, really, I mean, I know a lot of times I'm harsh and I say, well, people are too stupid. No, it's really not that. People are too busy. They're busy. They're very, very busy with their lives. And it's just getting busier because it takes more work to buy less. Housing's going up, food's going up. You know, people are working longer hours. They're taking on more jobs. They've got to run their kids back and forth to this and that because there's more competition there. You know, they've got their taxes to pay, and they've got groceries to buy, and laundry to get done, and weekends at the parents' house and their grandparents, and, you know, all of this. People don't have time anymore. So they come home, they're dog tired, they sit in front of the TV, they watch CNN, and they think they're informed. Can you blame them? People don't have time anymore. And, you know, I used to think, oh, they're too stupid to. No, it isn't that at all. It isn't. There's some very, very intelligent people that think all of this is nuts. They're intelligent people. They just haven't had the time to look into it properly. So anyway, let's go on now. Now, here is the next one, 3651. Those responsible for the coup attempt will be punished. Now, this is from the 6th of December, and we've seen this many, many times before. FISA-gate. Remember, FISA brings down the House. We've heard that many times. And this is Mark Meadows. What I saw is absolutely shocking. It's so alarming. The American people have to see this. Jim Jordan. There has been a real attempt to undermine the president, and it comes from the scariest of places, Matt Gaetz. So these are just, and we've looked at all this before. I'm just reading it for maybe some of you that are new. The sickening reality has set in. I no longer hold out hope that there is an innocent explanation for the information the public has seen. Steve King. And as soon as you read the memo, you think, is this happening in America, or is this the KGB? That from Scott Perry. Now, FISA-gate, it is real. It is going to be punished. And this is what Q says underneath that. He says people actually believe those responsible for the attempted coup attempt of a duly elected sitting U.S. president will go unpunished. End to our constitutional republic? No equal justice under the law? No accountability? Escape unscathed? enjoy the show, Q. So Q is saying, and to tell you the truth, we're all hearing it as well because people are fatigued with this. They have news fatigue. I don't know what it is, but we've been hearing this so long where we've become more and more and more aware of what is happening behind the scenes. Our eyes have been opened. Now, once our eyes are opened, we're like, oh my gosh, justice has to be done. And we're getting very fatigued with waiting for it. But we know everything has to be done in order. Everything, it's all been planned out with military precision. It's all going ahead as planned. And Q is letting us know, hey, you know what? I know what people are saying. They're thinking that, no, everybody's going to go free. Those responsible are never going to be held to account. Well, that's not true. So that's what he's addressing here. People actually believe those responsible for the attempted coup, the coup attempt of a duly elected sitting U.S. president, will go unpunished. Now, when said like that, you're like, well, yeah, naturally they'd be punished. And that's what we're all hoping for. End to our constitutional republic? Well, it would be if they weren't published, or if they weren't punished. If they weren't published, I don't know where. My lips just want to talk on their own, I guess. But if they weren't punished, then yeah, it would be an end to our constitutional republic. No equal justice under the law? Well, there hasn't been so far. And I think even Q would have to admit to that. Up until now, there hasn't been any equal justice under the law. And that is magnified to us every day that we see this impeachment sham. But there is coming justice under the law, because if these people went free, then it would just be business as usual, right? We would just go, well, those, some of us there's equal justice under the law, but I guess some of us are a little more equal than others. So, and there will be accountability. No one will escape unscathed. Enjoy the show. Q. So I would suggest that before there is a huge run on popcorn, that you go out and get yours, because there's about to be a big run on it. Okay. Now, here is the next 3652 from the 6th of December. Those responsible for stealing billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars will be punished. And of course, this is Ben Garrison. He is an awesome cartoonist. I mean, really very, very talented. And so here's this. We've seen this before, where Trump comes in and switches the light on, and all of them, they're the ones with their hands in the cookie jar, but they go, ah, we caught you. And all he's doing is turning the light on. That's all he did. And they're all pointing to him. Ah, we caught you. Meanwhile, here's Kerry, Romney, Biden, and Pelosi in the Ukraine cookie jar. Yeah. And beneath this, Q says, people actually believe those responsible for stealing billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars will actually go unpunished? This is not simply another 4-year election. POTUS. Now, what does he mean by that? What did POTUS mean when he said this isn't just another 4-year election? Well, what he meant is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter who they put in. It's the same stuff always going on. The same shenanigans, the same, stealing of taxpayer dollars, the same, everything that's been going on, bribery, trafficking, weapons, all this stuff. It just goes on because it doesn't matter who they put in there. They're corrupt. And what POTUS is saying, look, you know what? This isn't just another 4-year election. You're not just going to deal with me for 4 years and then go back to the way things were. It's not going to happen. So far, he's keeping his word on everything. So I think we need to trust him. Now, this is the next one, 3653, 6th of December still, and pain, punishment, meme. We've all seen this many, 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 many times. This is the pain punishment meme, and down below, well, actually, there's nothing to this, but over here, we've got an old Q post, and I just stuck this in over here, March 12th, 2019, and it's now that Russia collusion is a proven lie. When do the trials for treason begin? Remember that? And beneath this, POTUS said, promises made, not POTUS, but Q rather, said, promises made, promises soon to be kept. Has POTUS made a statement or assertion that didn't end up being proven correct? Change we can believe in. When they go low, we go high. Let freedom ring. Q. Now, again, that is an older Q post, but it kind of fits in with where we're at. This was from March 12th, 2019. Now, let's come down to the next one. And we've got this, 3654, 6 shootings in early December. So again, this is from yesterday, the 6th of December, and Q lets us, or reminds us by putting this in here, of an older post from November 19th. Not that long ago, but, you know, a few weeks ago. And what did Q say in that post? That was post 3604. And Q said, February 11th, 2019, step 4, open new fake and false investigations as chairman of the House Intel Committee to retain disinformation campaign designed to keep liberal democratic Americans on board to regain power and prevent prosecution. Executive time, Q. Pre-public awareness, like clockwork. D, 1 to 6. Enjoy the show. Now, I didn't know what D, 1 to 6 meant at the time that we looked at this. Now, it was quite obvious what he was talking about. Step 4, open new fake and false investigations, because that's exactly what the chairman of the House Intel Committee, Adam Schiff, did to retain disinformation campaign, and it was designed to keep liberal and Democrat Americans on board. They want to regain power and prevent prosecution, their own prosecution. So, but Q says executive time, Q. And let's look at what this means now, because Q is now defining what that meant, the D, 1 to 6. He said, how many shootings? D, 1 to 6. There have been six shootings since this post. So D, 1 to 6, enjoy the show. And there are now 6 shootings. So how did he know? And what is disturbing to me is, and I'm just going to be honest with you, Q obviously knew these shootings were going to happen in advance. So were they all fake? Or did Q know and they were not able to stop them? I don't know. I would be interested in what you guys think, always. We've got some very sharp people here that listen to this show, and I appreciate you all very, very much, and your comments and all your humorous comments as well. I love to read the comments on my videos, because I don't know, I just feel like so many of you, I know you. And you probably feel like you know me too. And in a way you do. So anyway, so yeah, D, 1 to 6, there are 6 shootings. Now, instead of going out to each one individually, it has been put together in a graphic here. Let me make this a little bit bigger, because I know, I'm always thinking about you tiny phone people. Always. Now, I love me some tiny phone people. Absolutely, I do. Okay, so this is D1. Was it 10 people shot in New Orleans? So D2 is student with gun is shot by officer in Wisconsin high school, police say. D3, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, school shooting leaves student and officer injured. D4, Jackson State University briefly locked down after active shooter incident. D5, Pearl Harbor deadly shooting. Navy weighs beefing up security for December 7th ceremony. And D6, Florida shooting updates. Authorities say it's too early to know if it's terrorism. So that shows us that Q knew on November 19th what was coming. D6. 6 shootings or attempted shootings. All right. Let's go to the next one. And we are now on December 7th. Woohoo! Okay, well, you know, that didn't come across as sounding too excited, did it? But what do you do? I guess I could throw some confetti or sprinkles or something, but then I'd have to sweep them up. I'd have to vacuum them up, actually. And then the cats would walk through them, and they'd be all over the house. So, no, I'm not going to do that. All right. Critical. Now, this is 3655, the first one from today, December 7th. Critical to deconstruct foreign Mossad control of U.S. mainstream and alternative media. Now, this is, let me make this bigger. I know. You're still on your tiny phones, some of you. All right. Critical to deconstruct foreign Mossad control of U.S. mainstream and alternative media. You know what I saw? Now, this is off subject, but I was just thinking about you tiny phone people. And just for any new people, these are not tiny phone people. They're tiny phone people. There's a big difference there. But I saw somewhere, it was, I don't know, it was a store that's well known, but I can't remember where it was. Anyway, they had a thing that you put on your cell phone and it turns it into projector. See, I didn't know that they had that, but I thought, well, gosh, that would be great for people that were wanting to watch movies or whatever on their phones. They could project it on the ceiling. They could project it anywhere they want. All right. That's just a suggestion. Okay. So MSM command structure. Let's look at the command structure. Who is at the head? Mossad. What does that equal? Well, Mossad is over the alt plus the U.S. media. Alt? Now, I've heard this before, and I've heard a lot of people saying things about some of the alt media, that they're really not on our side. Well, apparently now this is getting a little bit more clear to me. At first I was a little bit insulted. I thought, wait a minute, I'm doing alternative news stuff. Does that, and I'm loyal to the president. But apparently there are some, and we're going to get into that. Okay, so Mossad, and this is alternate and U.S. media and U.S. politicians. So that's the mainstream media command structure. At the top is Mossad, and then you've got alternate and U.S. media, U.S. politicians, and then under here you've got two blanks that are in brackets, and it's just dots. So I don't know who are these two people or groups. Not sure. Those who scream the loudest, ... find the connections. 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Primary, affiliate. No, okay, so you've got the primary source, and then you've got affiliate A, affiliate B, affiliate C. And we see that in something comes out in the New York Times, and then everybody runs with it. So it's like it comes to the main one, and then everybody disseminates it. And I think that's what he's saying. It's coming from primary source, maybe the 4 a.m. drops, and then it goes to all the different affiliates, because they're all connected by 6 corporations, right? All of the media, just about all of the media in America. So it goes to affiliate A, B, C, marching to the same beat. Coincidence? Logical thinking. And you've all seen the videos where they're all talking the exact same talking points, and they're all from different media groups, and they have them in different windows, but they're all saying the same thing. How is that possible? If they were doing real journalism, that wouldn't be possible, because everybody would write it up a little bit differently. But no, that's not the case. They all say the exact same things, same keywords, everything. So now down here, it says relevant to today regarding foreign assets. Deconstruction of foreign controlled intel, US media plus alt, critical. Untouchable regarding state-backed. So they have thus far been untouchable because they have been state-backed, right? They've been getting their talking points from the CIA. So yeah, they're state-backed. Epstein thought so. Puppets and puppet masters. Q. So I'm going to read this from Die Oppressor Liber. This will be fun. Q lays out who is controlling the alt-right U.S. media and many U.S. politicians. The Mossad. Alt-right examples of Mossad agents include Cernovich and Prosobiec. They all have handlers. Q tells us to find connections. This is who screams the loudest, literally. Alex Jones wins that title. Remember when Alex Jones went on a rant and screamed F Trump? Why would he do that? This occurred around the same time Alex realized Q was providing real intel to patriots. Now, again, I've listened to Alex Jones and he's been right about some things, but I also know that he is part of the paid opposition. So you do have to be careful there. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me is neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. If you listen to Alex Jones and you get a lot out of him, then that, by all means. But I do believe, and I definitely believe Prosobiec is and Cernovich is controlled opposition. They are Mossad agents, and they are appearing like they're alt-right, just like Drudge Report did. But Matt Drudge sold the Drudge Report on the sly, I guess, or on the down low. And apparently it's been bought or is now being handled by Mossad. So yes, it's now anti-Trump. And that is why Bongino has started what is going to be an alternative to the Drudge Report. Now, I do believe that Bongino is on the up and up. I have only respect for him, and it's quite evident to me that he is for Trump and for Q. All right, now let's go down to the next one, 3656. Democrats want a disarmed American populace that they can control. Now, we're going to go to well, he's given us a link here, but we're going to go ahead and read. What happens when people don't conform to their rule? What happens when people cannot defend themselves? Well, ask those in Nazi Germany or, any number of countries where they've taken the guns away and then commenced to slaughter the people. Why do D's, the Democrats, want to abolish the Second Amendment? Amendment, that's it. Why do they want to abolish the Second Amendment? Why don't they want us to be able to defend ourselves? Huh? Yeah, well, they're wanting to bring in socialism, so doesn't that make sense? Yeah, they want complete control of the people. They can't have complete control of the people if we have guns. So, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What did the framers of the Constitution fear the most? They feared that somebody would try to take over the government, and, right? That's why we keep and bear arms. Mainly to keep the government in check, not our neighbors. Now, this links to the archives of the founding docs, the Declaration transcript. I'm not going to go out there because Q has pulled out what he wants us to look at here. So that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such a government and to provide new guards for their future security. We, the people, Q. So that is why we have the right to bear arms. That right there. It is to protect against forms of government that become destructive. So there you are. Now, this above, the link, the first link here goes to this. I could not play it from here. Now, why? I don't know. But this was a, he's linking, and this is, who is this? Kingston Churchill. And he's linking to this, and we've all seen it, the protests in Hong Kong. And this says the whole progress. And basically, it says, amidst protesters who are promoting a peaceful 3 times boycott movement held today. And of course, we know what happened. The officer shot an unarmed protester. And that is what happened there. It says a video captured by local media shows a police officer firing 3 live rounds at demonstrators in Saiwan. The footage shows an officer struggling to subdue one protester before shooting another in the torso at close range. The protester falls to the ground before the officer fires twice more. The video, taken by Cupid Producer, was circulated widely online on Monday morning after protesters blocked public transit stations during the morning rush hour. Hong Kong police shoot demonstrator during morning rush hour. So that's what that is about. And what is Q wanting to show us? Well, I think he's trying to show us the results of what happens when people are disarmed. And this by Die Oppressor Lieber. It's all about control. It's always been about control. Dems can't control patriots thanks to the Second Amendment. Q links to a YouTube video of protesters in Hong Kong. Watch what happens when tyrannical governments strip their citizens of the ability to defend themselves. Thank the Lord for this great country, our Constitution, and our great military, full of patriots who ensure our freedom and our constitutional rights are protected. Yes, I will amen that. Absolutely. We have thus far been so blessed to live in a land of peace and plenty, and a land where we can defend ourselves. And it was never intended to, well, I guess it was probably intended also to protect your family and yourself, self-protection, but it was more designed with the idea that the government, if we didn't have a way to protect ourselves, and they did, the government could become tyrannical, and will, I believe, if we give up our guns. So let's come down to the next one. And this is 3657. Again, this is from today. And National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. That is today, December 7th. And also keep in mind what just recently happened there as well. So not sure exactly why Q is showing this, because it says Pearl Harbor 2.jpg, and of course it has the beautiful American flag flying. And so I'm not sure if Q is posting this just as a remembrance or as a remembrance to the recent shooting that happened there, or maybe both. Now, this is 3658. We are coming to the end. I know this has been a long video, or maybe it hasn't been as long as I think it has, but it seems like it's been a long time. All right. This is 3658, again from today, panic. Why is George Soros in Ukraine? Why is George Soros in Ukraine? And Q asks us, where is George Soros? Ukraine? Yes, that's exactly where he is. Who else recently traveled to Ukraine? Giuliani, and didn't Nunes travel there recently? So who else traveled to Ukraine? Panic is real. All hands on deck. And Q gives us a link to the Merriam-Webster dictionary to the word evil. And of course, we can apply that to who? Soros. Evil, adjective, morally reprehensible, sinful, wicked, an evil impulse. B, arising from actual or imputed bad character or conduct, a person of evil reputation. Archaic, inferior, causing discomfort or repulsion, disagreeable, woke late and in an evil temper, causing harm, pernicious, marked by misfortune, unlucky. Well, I think in this case, it's morally reprehensible. I think that is the one. That's the winner definition right there. Morally reprehensible, sinful, wicked. Yes, I think that would apply to George Soros. Yeah, along with a lot of other things. So yeah, he's in Ukraine probably because he heard of Giuliani, and I believe it was Nunes. Now I can't remember which one it was. So that's probably why he went there. He's probably trying to muck things up for everybody. And down here, this is by Lisa May Crowley. Rudy Giuliani was with OANN in Budapest and Ukraine doing interview with former Ukraine prosecutor Yuri Lysenko. At Channel Ryan tweeted seeing Soros and Pinchuk at the airport in Kiev last night. Soros is the epitome of evil. Yes, yes. Actually, they should have his picture next to the definition of evil because he surely fits it. And this 3659, the coordinated effort to ban, remove 8chan was all about stopping QAnon. Well, of course it was. We know that. And this has a link here to this article by Fox News that says Naval Air Station shooter wrote anti-American and anti-Israeli tweets before rampage. And let me see here. Let me just... The Saudi national who opened fire in a classroom at a naval air station in Florida Friday morning, killing 3 before being shot dead by officers, wrote anti-American and anti-Israeli tweets before the rampage, reports say. Mohammed Saeed al-Shamrani, who was said to be the second lieutenant in a flight training program for foreign military personnel at Naval Air Station Pensacola, posted a short manifesto to Twitter. AFP reported, citing the Site Intelligence Group, a group that monitors jihadist media. A spokesman for Twitter told Fox News in an email statement Saturday that the account was suspended, but they declined to comment further as to when the manifesto was tweeted out. Well, yeah. Let's get to Q. Go back to Q here. Posted on Twitter prior to shooting? Yes. Yes, it was. Calls to ban, remove Twitter? Of course not. They going to ban or remove Twitter because of that? No. But did they call to ban or remove 8chan for the same reason? Yes. What's the difference? Well, one of them QAnon posts on. Yeah, that's why. That's why. Calls to ban, remove 8chan for the same reason? Congressional hearing? Why was there a coordinated effort to ban and remove 8chan? Because Q posted there. They thought they could shut down Q. Didn't work very well, did it? Wasn't that easy. Well, they did. They did shut down 8chan. Absolutely they did. But it's back up now under 8kun. But yeah, we know that. We know that it's all about QAnon. What was the reason? What was the real reason? Well, the reason they said was that they wanted to prevent these types of things. People, they said that it promoted white nationalism and all this racism and every ism that you can think of. So they took it down. But the real reason was that Q was posting there, and they said, oh, Q is just a conspiracy theory and it's influencing people in the wrong way. Yeah, that's not why. They know that Q is not a conspiracy theory. That is why. And they think, oh, if we can disrupt Q's communication, well, we can put a monkey wrench in the whole movement. No, it's not that easy. Logical thinking, Q. So over here, Asha Marani, I can't pronounce his last name, so I shouldn't even try, entered a classroom. Okay, well, we know all that. The most important part of this was knowing that it was posted to Twitter. Yes, they took down his Twitter site, but they didn't take the whole site down. Why not? There's lots of people that post stuff on Twitter that's bad. Why don't they take that down? That'll never happen. Okay. So we took a look at that, and the next one is this. 3660. Who really controls the Drudge Report? Well, Mossad is who controls it now. Critical to deconstruct foreign Mossad control of U.S. mainstream and alternative media. Now, Q has placed in this that we just looked at for reference, and beneath that says, relevant to today regarding foreign assets, deconstruction, we looked at this earlier, deconstruction of foreign-controlled intel, U.S. media, plus alt critical, untouchable, state-backed, obscene thought so, puppets and puppet masters, Q. Then we've got a link to this, and we're gonna look at this. I've already cut it out for us. It is this. And the question is, who is in control? Who really controls the Drudge Report? Now, this is by Truth Seeker. It says, interesting word choice in the Twitter bio, was. And if you look down here on the Drudge Report, you've got the Drudge Report was a U.S.-based news aggregation website run by Matt Drudge. Was being the operative word there, which was never there before. So Drudge has sold the Drudge Report or whatever. And it is now run by all indications by Mossad. So let's come down here. We are getting there. Now, 3661, we will soon find out why Obama conspired against President Trump. Spygate. Never has a president left office to collude with others to impede the next sitting president of the United States of America until Obama. This from Q. Ask yourself a very simple question. Why? The why will be publicly answered soon. Dark to light. Q. Well, this should be good news for all of us because I think we've been waiting a long time to see Obama face the drummer. Also, Hillary. Those are two for sure, but there's a lot that I would like to see be held responsible. Now, this is drop 3662. You awake and thinking for yourself is their greatest fear. Absolutely it is. Knowledge is power. Think for yourself. Trust yourself. Do due diligence. You awake and thinking for yourself is their greatest fear. Sheep no more. The Great Awakening. Q. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so we'll go on to 3663. Elizabeth Warren is part of the corrupt DC swamp. Well, I think we're all aware of that. And there is a link here, which we're going to go to in a minute, and it says corrupt. Think Harvard. Think tax break. Think political career. Corrupt. Drain the swamp. Now, what is Q talking about? Let's go see. Now, hang on here. This says, a stunning admission from Warren. I shouldn't have done it. I am not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe. And I have apologized for confusion I have caused. Now, here she is speaking at a bowling alley. I guess whatever floats your boat, but let's listen to this. Come on. Here we go.
But even so, I shouldn't have done it. I am not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe. And I have apologized for confusion I've caused on tribal citizenship, tribal sovereignty, and for any harm that I've caused. But
and then it's just going to go back and replay it. So let's go back to Q. And so he says corrupt. Yes, she is. Think Harvard. That's where she worked. And she put that right on her job application that she was Native. Think tax break. She got a tax break. Think political career. Corrupt. Drain the swamp. Q. I think we all agree with that. I don't think there's any argument there. And this 3664, again from today, 7th of December, and he gives us a link here, which we're going to go out to, and says, fight, fight, Q. Now, let's go take a look at this.
From going to the White House.
Wow, that's loud. Hang on here. Whoo, that's really loud. Okay. Here we go.
From going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
I expect it to be that loud. All right. Now, let's come down here. And this says Jesse Waters will cover QAnon. And it has a link here, and this is the link. You've heard about QAnon, but what is really going on with this conspiracy theory? A political science professor explains tonight. Now, I did not get a chance to see this tonight. I don't know if any of you did, but I would be very interested to know what they said, although I can pretty much guarantee what they're going to say. And Q says, while a biased point of view shelters, protects the host, the overall discussion, eyes on, generates awareness. And that's true. You know, obviously it's going to be a negative point of view on QAnon, but it still offers exposure because people are going to be like, what's QAnon? And then they'll look it up. So, yeah. All right. And then this is the last for today. Adam Schiff linked to Mossad or Mossad. Now, I know you guys don't have any hope of seeing this, so let me take you to the larger picture of it so that you can, because this is important. And of course, right here we have Shifty Adam Schiff, and here is his father. Listen, this guy should never. He should have kept it in his pants. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's not nice because really then, you know, this is his brother. This is Adam Schiff's brother. Looks quite a bit a lot like him. Quite a bit a lot. Quite a bit a lot. And this is the Adam Schiff's son. And what's he wearing? Mossad since 1949. That's what it says. Why would he be wearing a shirt like that? And this from Congression Congressman Adam Schiff, Father's Day with my dad, my son, and my brother. To all of the fathers and grandfathers out there, a very happy Father's Day. Also, kids, remember to do something nice for dad today. And down here it says, I particularly like your son's Mossad t-shirt, Adam. Happy Father's Day to you and your dad. You are a beacon of light to me and tens of millions of others Americans who want and need a champion in Washington, D.C. to fight a form of demagoguery and authoritarianism unprecedented in our history. Thank you for everything you do and have done. Now, whoever that is. And then another person said, Happy Father's Day and greetings from Maine, I guess. So somebody likes the t-shirt. Why would he be wearing a Mossad t-shirt? Just asking. Why? Well. So let's go back here. And that is all Q put there. Just that picture. That's it. Now, that brings us to the end of the Q post for tonight. But let me go back out to make sure that Q has not posted while I've been talking. And let's see here. Let's go up and let's reload just to be sure, because I do want to give you the facts. And the facts are, it's 10:27 and we just looked at the last post. So if he posts again in the next hour and a half, I will catch that up tomorrow. I'm going to get this uploaded. I don't know about doing another one. I'd like to. I'm just going to have to play it by ear, so it'll be a surprise if it shows up. But I do want to get some of the news covered, so if possible, I may try to do that. All right. So that is it for this evening, for this video anyway. So you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, keep seeking truth, because, you know, deception bites and all that.